who looked like a pleasant bulldog, only right now his expression wasn't all that pleasant, said, "You want to keep me happy, don't you, Gumshoe? Or don't you and your partner still want that free publicity?" No need to get shitty about it. "Maybe you cheap bastards would rather hire a PR agent than get the Examiner's goodwill for fucking free." I unlocked the trunk and fetched the camera. Folly was normally an amiable Joe, but he had just caught front-page fever. The bisected body in this vacant lot had all the earmarks of a headline story. A beautiful woman butchered by some maniac. Sex and murder. Ideal breakfast reading. The morning was almost cold under a gunmetal sky, the breeze bristling the weeds into tickling the two halves of the girl, who, unlike the rest of the scattered refuse, rusty cans, disintegrating cardboard, broken bottles, had been carefully arranged, as if by an artist. Buzzing flies circled this lurid masterpiece, critics having a closer look. Her arms were above her head, as if someone had poked a gun at her and demanded money. Her legs were spread wide, as if in carnal invitation. But there was nothing inviting about this young woman, not anymore. Her raven hair a tangle of damp curls, she had been cleaved at the waist, the two sections crudely aligned, the top half of her angling somewhat into the lot, while her left foot pointed to the nearby sidewalk. Her lily-white flesh had a waxy look, and appeared strangely clean, despite slashes to her face and to either well-formed breast, and to one shapely thigh. A nasty vertical gash extended from her navel to her wispy pubic thatch. "Not much of a bush on her," Folly pointed out. "Jesus, Folly. All I mean is, she's just a kid," he said, shaking his head as he scribbled in his notepad. The buzz of flies sounded like fluorescent lighting shorting out. "She could be 15. "Or 20, I said, and the bisected corpse strobed even whiter under the Speed Graphics flashbulb. In the 10 or 11 inches separating the two sections of her, green grass waved in the wind, except where her distended liver matted it down. A sick feeling boiled in the pit of my stomach. I was not a novice to crime scenes. I had seen my share of grisly homicides. I was 38 years old, and an ex-cop and a combat veteran, and it took a hell of a lot to make me sick. But this was the worst, most brutal, as well as saddest homicide victim I'd ever seen. A once lovely young woman, carved in two, then arranged with thumb-to-the-nose glee by the sick fuck responsible. Yet there was more to my reaction than the tragic loss of young life and the grotesque sadism that had caused it. Memories were stirring in me. I had been part of an investigation in Cleveland not quite 10 years before, and had been at a similar crime scene, a rubble and rubbish-infested dump in the middle of town, where the torso of a young woman had been found. In some respects, that one had been even worse. The head, the arms, legs, and feet had been severed and scattered about the dump like so much garbage, making a puzzle out of a human being to be reassembled by the police. The murder had been one of 13 torso slayings attributed to the same maniac. And we had found that psychotic son of a bitch, my friend Eliot Ness and we had given him a lifetime enrollment in an Ohio laughing academy. The Mad Butcher of Kingsbury Run, the newshounds had called him. He was safely tucked away in a padded suite. Nonetheless, the resemblance of this bisected torso slaying to the butcher's modus operandi stirred memories in me, and nausea. When that memory had passed, as I kept playing photographer for Fowley, "Here, I'll stand blocking her dirty parts, Heller, and you shoot from behind me, and we'll get something Richardson can goddamn publish." Another memory, jogged by the wind-blown grass, kicked in. After the Japs had come at us in the morning, up a slope of golden kunai grass, screaming "Banzai," machine guns chattering, we cut them down with our M1s, and they dropped into the grass, scattered about like rag dolls, bodies in the weeds, flung there by our bullets, bodies barely visible. And that afternoon, as we waited for the next wave of them, their dead lay puffing and ripening in the sun, sending a sweet, foul wind riffling through the grass. I lowered the camera, turned away. "Heller! Nate! You okay?" I nodded. "Shit, man, you look whiter than she does." When I turned back around, Fowley, pork